The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
All rise. The Premier's in the house. Roger Cook.
Roger
welcome
Cook.
back.
Thank you. Bit of respect.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Just a little bit.
Well, we saw you posing for a photo with Sean McManus before the start of the Rottnest swim.
Yeah, look, I was down there. I got the opportunity to send everyone away
Yeah.
to their deaths.
Yeah.
God, it was a shocking morning. I was literally standing on the beach. I had a long sleeve shirt on, but I was cold.
Yes.
I can't imagine what it was like for you and the other swimmers, Sean, because that was really tough
nervous
conditions.
excitement.
I had
Would have
so
kept you
much of
warm.
that
Sheep fat.
Wool fat.
yeah,
or whatever.
it's called ocean grease that I end up
Yeah.
getting hold of, and I had heaps of that on there. But it's still no.
that to me is crazy because to me, if I was a marine creature, that would be marinade.
Guess it was.
Like, you know,
Spread a bit of whale fat on your body.
Yes.
Roger, I do love, you've got your naysayers, as every politician does, and when there was footage of you doing the gun start at the beginning, they were like, firstly, why is he not a sports person? Why is a politician doing it? And then also afterwards, they seem to blame you for the weather.
Yeah.
So would you like to tell us now
It was
about
all my fault.
how you control the weather?
It's the only time they've abandoned the race, and guess who started it?
I know. And Roger, the other thing they say is, why isn't he running the state? It's like, it was 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
Oh, I hate that. That's stupid. But Roger is an athlete because he's doing his triathlons all the time, riding all the time.
Yes,
he swam
you are.
last weekend.
So you did an ocean swim just last week, yeah?
Yeah, so I did the 5K City Beach to Scarborough Beach the weekend before. So,
So you're walking
that was
the
my
walk.
big
Fair
event.
effort.
Yeah.
That's the furthest I've ever swum. So, and as you know, these things, it's not about whether you win and how fast you go. It's whether you're pushing yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for me, that was as big
Oh, so you
as it
didn't
got.
go that
Yeah.
fast, eh?
Yeah. I didn't go fast, I can tell you that
Well,
much.
we do know one thing. There's a lot of people that would love a bit of one-on-one time with Roger Cook, the Premier.
Yes.
And you know, we see that a lot of time politicians will have dinners and people will pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get some contact with them. Do you ever have someone swim up next to you from a mining company trying to pitch some stuff to you?
Just while we're here.
Or do we have? Where's security? Where's the security in
How
this
good
mix?
a swimmer is Nigel Sadley?
Where's security?
I think the security are on the beach. They were watching me.
So they walk along the beach.
Walk along the beach
Do
with
they?
me, and look, there was a police boat out in the water. Right now, I don't
water
know.
rats.
I don't know if it was watching me or if it was just bringing up the rear of the race to make sure no one drowned.
Are they
it was pretty much
authorised-
one and the same thing. Really.
Are they authorised to shoot a shark if it's coming for you personally?
So long as they
Is
get
that
the
way it
shark.
works? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That can be a bit dicey there. 5Ks is a long way though, Roger. So I take my hats off to you because you just lose your mind so quickly after a few Ks. You're trying to stay positive, but it can be boring.
It's grueling.
Yeah. For me, it's the boredom. You know,
Yes.
you're just there. I did it. I experienced the same. I did the Bustleton jetty swim the year before. A fantastic swim. Even then, when you can see lots on the bottom and stuff, after a while, you're just sitting there going. You know, you're just rolling one arm
so you
over
get
the
in
other.
the zone. Yeah.
So you did 10K on the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, that's an incredible process. So you must have had to really focus to just keep yourself in that zone, keep the arms rolling over, staying strong. Hats off to you. It's incredible.
It was difficult. And getting back to the Bustleton swim, which I did this year, and I was telling the guys about it when I was going around. There was a dinghy at the bottom of the jetty at one side, and there's people diving who are at the end of the jetty, so it's 1.8 kilometres out, and they're at the end of the jetty underwater.
just
So you're just
swimming
swimming, and
past
all of a sudden you see these people, you panic.
Yeah, it's a spectator event, right?
Yeah.
But the Busso swim is fantastic because you can see these old pylons lying there.
Yes.
There's a lot of fish, not big fish, but, you know, it's just... So as a visual spectacle, if you're doing a swim, it doesn't get much better than that.
Do you have a competitive pair of budgie smugglers that you like to go with?
Look, I think we can all be pretty safe in their knowledge that I would never, ever wear budgies. I just think... I think Tony
works so
Abbott's
well
killed
for
that for
Tony Abbott,
everybody.
yeah.
So do you?
I don't even have the body for budgies.
Do you
Look
do
at
your
this.
swims in boardies?
No, I wear racing shorts.
Yeah.
Oh, like bike shorts.
Yeah, they look like bike shorts, but
Yeah,
swimmers
they're
wear
swim
them.
shorts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. We approve.
Modesty shorts.
Sean's favourite are from Yellowstone, but you don't put them into competitive
Yeah.
swimming, do you?
No, they're not for competitors.
Yeah, they're just for the ranch.
They're good ones. I've got one of those suits. They're worth about $700.
What?
Yeah.
What? They're what?
You
You
obviously-
thought ones?
You obviously
Yeah.
didn't pay for it.
Yeah, no, I did. Yep.
With your money?
Absolutely.
With your
I got a
money?
20% discount just up the road. So
Did you
it was
have a
$500 something dollars. As
Shop
a
a docker?
Groupon, yeah. So they're bloody expensive.
So it looks like a wetsuit, but no arms. Is that right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, they're really, really thin. Tough to get on. You actually have to put gloves on, like you're about to murder someone to get them on.
Is that right?
Because they're quite slippery.
That's
and
like
not-
your latex gimp suit, Natalie.
Yeah, okay. No, that
But
sounds
Natalie
right.
finds it the hardest when her hands are slippery. She has to unzip her mouth.
I hope your
Don't worry, I've
breath's a
seen
little
it.
better. The premise having nothing to do with this conversation. Well,
So, yep, the race got called off, but all the competitors told me that the beers still tasted pretty good when they got to
Yeah.
run.
Yeah, they did, Roger. Yeah.
Yeah, a girl I know, she had, so their team, they actually pulled out 3 minutes before it was officially abandoned, so they felt quite vindicated then.
Yeah.
But then they had to go back to Fremantle, but they had accommodation booked on Rottnest, so then they had to catch the ferry to go back to stay the night in Rottnest. So we're going to let that
The
go.
ferry
to
of
waste.
shame. And
Yeah,
that's
I know, right? I know.
But look, a great event. People came from all
Yeah.
over the world to
Yeah.
swim that
To be
race. You know, it's
disappointed, yeah.
iconic nowadays. So it's great that we can have these events that just bring people to Western Australia.
Yes.
They come, they spend money, they see the place, they
And I
tell
mean,
their friends
and
about
on
it.
the same
do.
day as the WWE, it was really
WWE.
yeah, which
how
was
big?
was it?
How big was huge? Absolutely huge. So, 52,000 people were there for the
Yeah.
elimination chamber. So the next biggest elimination chamber that they ever had was 33,000.
Yeah, right. Oh.
They usually only get about 20,000 people to these
Wow.
things. But
Do they?
to give you an idea of how important this is, 14,000 people came from outside
Yeah.
the state.
Yeah, right.
They had 1 billion viewers.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Around the
worldwide,
world.
You
yeah.
don't realise the reach
Yeah,
of
that's
WWE.
massive.
165 countries in
Yeah.
26 languages.
Yeah.
Did you see the video that The Rock did? I watched
Yes.
it about
Yeah.
5 times.
Yeah.
45 seconds, he said Perth, Australia,
yeah.
a dozen times.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't buy that sort of publicity. So that was huge for us. And it was really
Rog,
successful.
can I ask about that? Because we spoke about, it seemed like the WWE wrestlers, they got out around town.
Oh, and we had,
And
Becky,
that-
we had Becky Lynch in here.
Yeah, yeah.
And she won, didn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
won,
won,
and Seth Rollins was in as well. Yeah,
Was that part of the communication?
Yeah, what they
Or
were
they giving?
They were giving. Look, when they go to places, they really invest, and the consummate professionals that they are. They went to the kids' hospitals. They did a wrestling academy with
Yeah.
up and coming wrestlers in WA. They did. They went to community groups. They went to shopping centres. They brought the place alive, and that's why I think Western Australians just flocked
Yeah.
to the place to go to it.
Next
They-
time, can you make them call it the WWA?
That's very good.
A rebrand.
Oh wow!
If you were invited into the ring, would you have done it?
I was
I've
ringside
done
at
it.
one point.
I was invited in
Is
once.
that right?
I,
Yeah.
I fought. The women fought me. Let's be honest.
Did you
Yeah.
have a tunic? You know, little
No, I went in
tights
wearing
with it?
camo, like
So
camo
they couldn't find
pants.
you?
And I went in sort of military style. They said to dress, but yeah, they ripped me apart. Would you have done it?
Anything for the state.
Yeah. Body on
Putting
the
his
line.
body on the
Yeah,
line.
well,
the line.
I hope
I would have done it. I would have been in there.
I hope the WWE
so long as I could take a chair with me.
Last week we had the Prime Minister in,
Yep.
Anthony Albanese, and one thing that was going around at the time was getting him to promise that the GST won't be changed and WA will still get their fair share. Whenever there seems to be any Prime Minister or Premier, you've got to fight for it, or, is the Prime Minister going to honour his pledge about WA and the GST? Is that just made up for the media?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
It
So
was rock solid.
there's no threat to it at all.
Albo is
Really?
locked in. He's been locked in forever.
But if there's a change of government, will that change?
Well, no, if there's a change of government, well, then it can. So it's locked
Yeah.
in for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's, the real question you have to ask is, particularly at the next federal election, who will defend the GST deal?
Yeah.
That's the question for Western Australians. The only guy in national politics today that questions the GST deal is Peter Dutton.
Yeah.
And, so that's the reality. of
But
what
say,
people-
say Dutton got in, right? So say Dutton gets in. There is a huge belief that WA propped up the last election, yeah? One
that's
over the
right.
last election.
We played a crucial role, yeah.
So if you took that away from us, you would have I'm thinking a majority of the state not voting for your partner. Do they put that in the mix, or?
Well,
100%,
they
no.
should, obviously. It
That's
would
up
be-
to the
it would be
voter, isn't it?
It'd
Yeah.
be political suicide in Western Australia.
It would be.
So
Yeah.
if under the original deal, we would get around about $800 million out of $86 billion in terms of the overall GST pool.
That's staggering.
And that is absolutely outrageous.
Yes.
That was what the system actually set us up to do. So the deal that Mark McGowan managed to get for WA was so important.
Was it fair to say Colin Barnett had been working on that for a while? Because I know everyone
I don't know.
takes,
Yeah.
everyone takes they claim the battle. They claim that we won.
When it's finally done.
I feel like it.
My hands were in there too.
Yeah. And don't forget, Matthias Cormann had a big role to play in that as well, working with Mark on that particular outcome. We've got to defend it. All the other state premiers sort of look at me going, you've got all this GST. And I said, well, hang on. We surrendered $13 billion over the last 5 years of GST to you guys.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to give me $13 billion, you're welcome to it. But
and we're still getting less proportionally than everybody else, aren't we?
So we get 70 cents in the dollar. The next state to receive the next lowest amount is Queensland at 92 cents.
So
we do the heavy lifting in terms of the GST.
Can you explain to me, because we know our argument, and it's like, well, it's not fair. The math doesn't work out. Yeah. Can you let me know what are the other states? Why do they think they're right? Because when you look at it on paper, it is unfair, the deal we are still getting. So how can they think that what we're getting now, which is slightly fairer than before,
well, when we were getting like 27 cents or something?
Well, they look at us and say, you've got all these minerals, that's not fair. And I say, well, no, we've got these minerals and we have the prosperity from that because we did the hard work to set those industries up.
Exactly.
It's also quite a mining industry in Queensland.
They might have the minerals, just dig and find them. We just dug. That's all. We just got a shovel and dug and found them. Go digging.
There's a lot of mining in Queensland.
But at the end of the day, we're the ones that protected our finances. Yes. We're in a strong financial position. Most other states are running huge debts.
Victoria.
Deficit budgets. Lord. And so they're desperate for cash. And they'll come and try and take ours if it helps prop themselves up.
It's so funny, we're a one Australia, apparently, and then over the COVID thing, everyone splintered, and then that was the demise of the government.
What do you mean? Everybody else hated us.
Well, they were all going, everyone's going each other, and we all went our separate ways, and same with this. You're under pressure, you're backed into the corner, whether it's New South Wales or Victoria in particular. At this point in time, they're gunning for us, we're gunning for them.
The fact of the matter is that Western Australia is the engine room of the nation's economy.
That's true.
Albo gets that. He understands that if WA is doing well, the nation does well in terms of its economy. So we'll continue to receive his backing. Love that. And we can go on and do some great things.
Good on you, mate.
Anything else that we need to know about? Any big news?
Because usually when you come in or any premier comes in the past, you leave here and then suddenly
a big announcement about something.
You tell everyone you're a robot or something. You could have said that on our show.
No, look, we'll just keep going. We're just going to continue to keep the economy strong. We're going to make cost of living relief measures where for the people who are doing it tough. And, of course, we're just driving the housing situation as much as we can.
Yeah, and the next big event you're going to bring here, what have we got?
See, I can't tell you that, but we love love exclusive content. We love bringing really quirky things to Western Australia, so the rest of Australia has to come and have a look at it.
So watch this space.
Drag them over here. So watch this space. We've got some great events coming up.
Really?
Okay. All right.
I like that.
All right, you heard it here first.
There you go. That was Cookie.
Thank you, the Premier, Roger Cook.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Sean just regaling us with great stories from the Rottnest Swim.
Sean, so Harry asked the question of, did you do a water poo?
Yeah, no, I didn't, but on any boats that had a toilet, they flush out into the ocean.
Yes.
A lot of the cases, and the boat we had just goes directly out into the ocean. And I only heard this at the end. My mate Chuck, he needed to go and have an early poo, and I was swimming, and the boat was in front of me, and they reckon I swam through it. But I didn't know.
You're like, who threw a picnic in the ocean? That's delicious.
What a waste. Love a picnic. But of course, the swim was hard yards for everyone, obviously getting called off. But the hardest position, I think, for everyone on the day was being the paddler.
Yeah, I heard this.
Yeah.
The paddlers, whilst the swimmers could kind of plough through the chop, the paddlers were really being smacked in the face with it non-stop. And there were a lot of stories of paddlers losing their paddles, tipping out of their kayaks, or just being pushed way back and not being able to keep up with their swimmer.
So you would think that you would want the strongest paddler that you know.
Well, yes, absolutely. Well, I spoke to a number of friends, and I did have a great friend, Pete, who never lets me down. And I know he was always going to be the backup for me.
Yeah.
And I know this is the other thing.
Choice, though.
No, this is the other thing, because I know he did it last year, and I felt like we pressured him into this moment, and it was horrendous with the ski that he had. And he was helping a guy out who had a vasectomy that was supposed to do most of it.
Right.
But once he sat in
It's like, I can't do this.
in the kayak, he couldn't
could
do
do it.
much.
Yeah, right.
So Pete was stuck doing it all. So when I asked him this year, he was really reticent to be.
Yes.
He was really
It's like,
reticent.
no, thank you.
So you asked Pete, and he sort of said no, and then so what? You asked around.
Oh, he said, oh, yeah, maybe, or just have to. And so I asked around. I didn't have any backup, but I knew he's the type of guy that if you ask again, he's 100%.
So when did you ask again?
I waited about a week.
And then he said...
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
No, did he say 100% or did he say, oh, I guess I'll have to if you can't find anyone else?
Well, no.
Well, why don't we
I
ask
backed him
him?
into a corner.
Hello, Pete.
Hello, how are we, guys?
Did you
Hello,
feel
Pete.
100% pressured by Sean McManus to do this paddling, Pete?
Of course I was.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah.
The big man said I had to step up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean said you can't even stay on an air mattress in a pool.
That's probably true. Probably true.
For someone who was backed into corner and did it, he was a bit ungrateful, wasn't he? There was a bit of drama at the start. Do you want to talk us
Well-
through your side of the story?
On my side of the story, okay, a little different from Sean's side, but anyway. So I'm at the start. I've had to paddle out about 400 metres offshore.
Well,
And-
that'd be me. I'd be done.
Yes.
Hey, Pete, first of all, how hard was it getting in the canoe, the kayak?
Oh,
at the
my
start?
gosh. So I did the port the pub last time, and the seas were just flat, glass,
Yes.
in perfect conditions. I'm expecting the same thing. No.
And the
Definitely
perfect
not.
storm happened.
Yes, exactly. Worst conditions in like ever.
Oh, my gosh. I could not believe it. Anyway, I fell off trying to paddle out there for a start.
It's not a great start, is it?
But
By myself.
But Sean told me that you're not really an ocean person. You'll sit on the beach while everyone
I
else
get
is in the
seasick,
ocean.
don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete's an Australian sidecar champion, so he's known motorbikes and speedway all
land
his
So
life.
he's a
a land.
professional
Yeah.
passenger. Is that what you're saying?
All right, so you're paddling out, Pete. You're paddling out.
Yeah, I've paddled out. And Sean told me, he said, I'm in the second group. And I've gone, righto. Anyway, so the first, like I'm a long way out. I can't hear what's going on the beach.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for the second group. Anyway, so the first group is all the professionals. And they come through. But the professional group had split up because there's a little bit slower ones and some really fast ones.
Yeah.
So I've followed the second group.
Thinking
Which
because
was
Sean said
actually
he was
the
in the
first.
second group. Yeah,
Yeah,
I see.
he
I
said
see
he was
what
in the
went
second
wrong.
group. Yeah, so I started following them, and you can't see. All you can see is a white cap,
Yeah.
and every swimmer had a white cap.
Yeah.
So
So you just picked one and followed them.
I'm just picking whichever one and chasing him. But in the end, I was in the wrong group, so I had to double back, and I've come back, and there's Sean waving his arms around and carrying on.
It's pretty mad,
He
apparently.
reckons- Yeah.
Nah.
Apparently, he reckons it was like 20 minutes. I'm thinking it was way less than that.
Yeah, I have heard there's a bit of a dispute over the time.
Yes.
And Sean originally was saying it was half an hour.
Half an hour, yeah, exactly.
And then I think you were saying it was around 10 minutes, probably, Pete.
10 minutes, I say.
We'll split it with
Pete,
10.
let's just
20.
go down to the hard knuckles of this. Did you have these skills necessary to paddle in those conditions?
I'd say probably not. I've
You
never
were
seen
given no
conditions like that.
choice. You were given
I've
no
never
choice.
seen anything like that. There was times there where I was in the middle of a wave. I could not see Sean.
Yeah.
I was down. I couldn't even see the boat that was next to me.
Yeah.
God.
I was down in a wave and I could not see anything.
This is the
It
thing
was
that
the
gets
worst
me.
thing
This
being
is
a paddler
this
on
is
the
the thing
day.
that gets me is that all the glory is put on the swimmer. But what
Yeah.
about the paddlers? They're
Yeah.
paddling to Rottnest.
Yeah,
And
100%.
keeping you in line, but keeping you headed the right direction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
that
had
was-
to keep him heading the right direction,
Yeah.
and it was. That was
Once
tough.
you found him, Pete.
Once I
Let's not get it twisted.
followed the wrong swimmer for about half an hour.
It was you're in a game of Where's Wally there for a second.
Pete, was this an example of like you did it really badly so that he won't ask you again? Was it like that?
No, you know what? I would love to do it again. That I've faced the worst conditions now.
No, he didn't do it bad. He absolutely did not do it bad. He kept me on course in the end, and he did a bloody great job in the end.
Yeah.
But I just take back to, I was thinking over the last 48 hours The poor bastard, like, he had no choice but to accept after I asked him a couple of
and then
times.
it's just so woefully awful that you think, I'd be surprised if
him
you
into a
want
corner.
to front up again.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're going to speak to other people like you, Pete, right now. So give us a call, 13 24 10. We'd like to know when this scenario has happened to you. You really, I mean, honestly, don't have the skills to do what's requested of you, but you've been backed into a corner and given no choice, so you just have to give it a red-hot go. How many people died? Where did you end up? What was the situation where you were like, I do not have the skills to do the thing you have asked me to do, but I'm going to do it?
One of my friends graduated from uni with to be a drama teacher, and this is in Victoria, and she got offered a job at a school on Phillip Island. She's like, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
As a drama teacher, but there was a catch.
Oh.
She had to teach Japanese as well.
Did she speak Japanese?
No, she'd never studied Japanese at all. And so what she would do was on Sunday night, she would learn the lesson and then teach it on the Monday, forget it, and the following week just do it again. She had to do that for a year, teaching
my
Japanese. So
God.
the kids were learning it as she was learning it.
How bad would marking any tests be? Because she would have to go,
I don't know.
Jesus, I don't know what the answer is. All right, Angela's in Mirawa. Hey, Ange.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, buddy. We are talking about not having the skills required to do the task where you were forced to do. What happened?
So I was forced and asked to go and help my friend choose a wedding dress. I don't wear dresses.
You don't wear dresses?
I don't wear dresses.
Are you do you have something in a culotte?
I know, but you've got eyes, right? So you can.
Yeah, but I'm not a girly girl. I have never been into that sort of puffy dress, lace. You know, my wedding dress was bought in a normal shop, and that's what I wore. I got
A
married in
normal
court.
shop?
A normal shop.
What do you mean a normal
So
shop?
it wasn't a wedding dress, it was just a dress. Is that what you mean?
It was just a dress, but that's it. But my friend wanted the whole 9 yards, and I was like, "You're choosing the worst person possible for that."
How did it go?
Yeah, the last place the woman said to me, "So, Mum, what do you think of the wedding dress?"
Mum,
Because we're only a few years different, but because I look daggy.
Oh, Ange, that's
That's
not
like
nice.
salt in the wound, isn't it?
Oh, Mum, what do you think of it? I'm 3 years older.
That's funny, yes.
God, it's been a rough 3 years, so it wasn't it?
Ange.
Not a great day out shopping. I'm glad you gave it a go,
You're
though,
a
Ange.
good friend, Ange. Thank
Yeah.
you. Monique's in Forestfield. Hello, Monique.
Hi, how's it going?
Great,
morning.
Monique. What were you backed into a corner that you had to do it, even though you didn't have that skill set? What happened?
My best friend kept chickens in the suburbs, and one of them turned out to be a rooster.
Yes.
And because they're not allowed to keep that, she asked me if I could kill it for her. So I did.
Hang on. Why did she think you would be the best person to take this rooster out rather than herself?
Aside from the fact that she knows I grew up in Asia, I'm from the Philippines, and in the Philippines we kill roosters to eat. Not just roosters, any chickens, and anything really.
Yeah. Anything really. That was the best, mate. We'll kill anything and eat it.
Well, but we're eating chickens every day of the week, too,
that's
so
right.
there's no difference here.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right, Mon, keep going.
Pardon me, sorry.
Yeah,
Keep
keep
going.
going, keep going.
She said, I got to get rid of this rooster because it's either they kill it and they don't know how to do it,
Yeah.
or I do it, and I'm sure she said, I'm sure you can do it. You could do it. And I have never killed a chicken. I have seen my uncles and aunties do it hundreds of times back home, but I've never done it myself. But because I love my best friend, and I said, all right, I'll do it. And so I had to kill the poor rooster, and she was watching from her bedroom window. She was crying. So
She was crying? Were you crying?
I wasn't crying, but I was trying to sort of perform the deed by looking like I knew what I was
professional.
doing.
Oh, my God. The only way I could even attempt that is just to, I don't know, like do it the most, I don't know, just I feel like just put a pillow over his face. But even I wouldn't even. I don't think I could even do
know.
that.
Like, I've seen my dad do it as a kid. Like, we were on a farm. But there's no way I could do it.
That is the worst.
You're a good friend, Monique.
Oh, Monique. And it's really great because I wonder if that translates if you ever need to, get an enemy taken out.
Yeah, that's true. We know you've got the skill set.
Yeah.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.